Hey, what is up, people? Skywalker Hendrix here, back with another video for you guys today. And today, woke up to some insane news. Very excited for this. Now, maybe even close to a year ago, Hot Toys announced their kind of entry-level, budget-friendly, 1/6 figure line. Basically something to separate from normal Hot Toys, but at a lower price point and a little more entry grade. You know, if you're thinking about getting into Hot Toys, you can pick up one of these figures and kind of get the feel. And yeah, I mean, it's like an entry figure. It's a good starter figure for someone interested in collecting 1/6, and called Hono Studios. Now, a lot of people in the community were a little bit confused if this was still Hot Toys or something different entirely, and I think a little bit of both. I think it is still Hot Toys. I mean, it's still Hot Toys. I think sometimes these companies don't want to, this is a bad word to use, but I don't know what other word to use. They don't want to taint their existing, maybe, like, I'm struggling to find words to explain this, but Hot Toys makes realistic figures, for the most part. I mean, there's still exceptions to this rule, but for the most part, Hot Toys makes, you know, for example, we've seen it with the Clone Wars line in Star Wars. These are realistic interpretations of maybe an animated character. And at least with Star Wars, they do not make animated style figures. So everything is realistic through the lens of realism. And you know, with different figures like the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, like, those are animated, but that's almost like the exception. They've never really done, maybe here and there, but they've never really done animated style figures or heavy stylized type figures. So when people want Clone Wars figures, they make those figures in a realistic style. Even though, you know, with some characters, like Savage Opress, for example, we have never seen a live-action Savage, but Hot Toys gave us, you know, what they think a live-action Savage Opress would look like. So, you know, for a lot of collectors who love the animated series, this is amazing, but maybe for some other collectors, they would want a bit more stylized type figure, and this morning, it finally happened. So Hono, they started releasing comic figures for Marvel. So the first one was a Wolverine, a comic Wolverine, and you know, if you ask me, I don't really see, like, the quality difference. Maybe on their Spider-Man, they did a black suit Spider-Man, and you could definitely tell the quality of the suit was a little bit, you know, I wouldn't even say less than regular Hot Toys, but these are a little less involved, per se, a little less detailed paint, stuff like that. So they're a little bit more simple figures, but with that, they are at a lower price point. So you can get most of these Hono Studio figures for under $200, which in my opinion is amazing. And as an entry-level 1/6 figure, that's perfect for someone maybe not ready quite to drop, you know, close to $300, maybe over $300 on a regular Hot Toys figure. They can kind of test the waters with a Hono Studios figure, and it wasn't ever something I was like very expecting, I guess. I thought maybe they'd make a Star Wars figure down the line. I don't really know what they would do or who they would do. As like I said, Hot Toys Star Wars does not make animated style figures, so that kind of was not in the realm of like something I thought. I mean, the thought crossed my mind of, oh, I wonder if we'll ever get a Star Wars Hono Studios. And yeah, I woke up this morning and my inbox was blown up and people were sending me Hot Toys Rebels style animation, and I'll throw some pictures up right here. My mind was blown. I mean, completely blown. And then all of a sudden I see the Hono Studios. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it totally makes sense now. What a genius idea by Hot Toys, in my opinion. They didn't really want to mix up or confuse collectors with Hot Toys Star Wars figures, making realistic and then animated and just having them all be Hot Toys. So making the animated style figures this Hono Studios releases, genius. I mean, absolutely genius. It gives collectors that want these animated style figures what they've been asking for, but also not derailing the expectation of regular Hot Toys Star Wars figures, as for the most part, unless these sell like off the charts, I just don't see Hot Toys Star Wars going that animated route. I think the animated style figures will be secluded to this Hono Studios line. So, but my mind just started racing. Now, we got two official announcements. We got a Stormtrooper and a Stormtrooper Commander, but more specific, a 7th Fleet, which is Thrawn's fleet. In the Rebels show, we got a Stormtrooper Commander of the 7th Fleet. That's why it has that design on the pauldron there. And just genius, in my opinion. And these look amazing. I mean, they really, dude, so good. They look so freaking good. I mean, it made me question whether these were like CG renders. That's how good they were. These are real figures. I mean, you zoom in and you can tell there's fabric under the undersuits and stuff like that. But the sculpt work, the proportions, dude, so good. These look literally like they jumped off the screen. And so we got two official releases of the Stormtrooper Commander, and yeah, they look amazing. But on Instagram, you swipe all the way over on these posts, and it teases a Rebel-style Darth Vader. Now, I quite honestly, and I don't even think this is over-exaggerating or clickbait, if you will, I think this is a game changer for Hot Toys. Hot Toys, I've said, is the king of Star Wars collectibles right now. There's no one else competing, and something, I was not expecting any other company to, take those reins of, and not even just 1/6, but just overall Star Wars collectibles. If you are wanting the best Star Wars collectibles, the best company that handles Star Wars, in my opinion, it is Hot Toys. And this just really adds a twist to that with the animated style figures. This can bring in so many new collectors that maybe would only collect 1/6 animated style figures, and here you go. A criticism with the Darth Vaders in the Hot Toy line is that they aren't really very posable, and that's just the nature of making a Darth Vader suit as accurate as you can and shrinking it down to 1/6 scale. I mean, put on a Vader costume in real life, you're not going to be able to move, so you shrink that down to 1/6. Not the most posable figure, just based on real life limitations of the costume. But with this figure, with an all cloth undersuit, oh man, this Vader is going to be able to pose. You look at some of the promo shots of the Stormtroopers, oh my goodness, these figures look like they can pose phenomenally. So I literally think this is a game changer for Hot Toys, or Hono Studios, whatever you want to call it. It's Hot Toys. Absolutely amazing. My mind was blown. I literally just started thinking of so many different animated style figures that we could get through this line, and in my opinion, the possibilities are endless. I mean, they're starting with Rebels, which is very interesting. Obviously, we do have some like live action style Rebels figures. Obviously, they're from the Ahsoka series, but you're getting a lot of those looks through the Ahsoka series, but this really just lends itself. We could get the entire Ghost crew. We could get an animated Thrawn. And then I think it's inevitable, unless these do not sell, and that is totally possible. And I really think that would be a shame. I'm in for all three, Vader included, even though he is not quite announced yet. He will be, and I'm 100% getting him. Now, I might be in for two, depending on if, and I think they will, I'm praying they will throw in the battle damaged Vader head sculpt from the Twilight of the Apprentice episodes, where obviously, for those who don't know, Ahsoka is the first person to cut Vader's mask in Star Wars canon, I guess. Even though I think technically it would have taken place after the Kenobi series, timeline-wise. But anyway, that was the first time we saw a battle damage Vader, was in the Rebels, in canon at least. Was in the Rebels show. Ahsoka slices his mask just like in the Kenobi series. Obviously, the Kenobi series came after Star Wars Rebels, so really Kenobi copied Rebels, and we've seen battle damage Vader a few times, but if they give us that head sculpt, oh my goodness, this could really be something special for Star Wars fans, and specifically fans of the animation. I just think this, like I said, is a game changer for Hot Toys 1/6 collecting. Getting these animated style figures in 1/6 is just absolutely fantastic, and you're not getting this stylized of Star Wars figures anywhere else at the moment. I mean, they are the corner of the market. Sideshow dabbled in the Clone Wars, but those just didn't sell well, as Sideshow and Star Wars just haven't hit for a while now. Hot Toys kind of really pulled in the reins on that, and like I said, just took over the game. And you know, if you're getting 1/6 Star Wars figures, you're getting Hot Toys. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that buy the Sideshow Star Wars figures, and obviously they've slowed down a lot. I mean, they have dabbled here and there, but I just don't think they sell well, as they're about the same price as a Hot Toys figure, but maybe 50% of the quality. I've heard very bad things about Sideshow's choice of bodies. Like, all these figures have bodies underneath, and Sideshow for some reason just chooses cheap bodies that just break, and QC issues and all that good stuff. So Hot Toys really is the corner on the market at the moment for Star Wars figures in 1/6 scale. And man, I keep thinking, I'm like, these stormtroopers look so good. Imagine if they started doing clone troopers, if they started doing more animated figures from Clone Wars or Rebels. I mean, like I said, the possibilities are endless, and these figures, with how good they look, I hope they sell well, and I hope Hono Studios continues making these Star Wars figures. So that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. I hope all of you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments about these Star Wars animated style figures by Hot Toys. I think they're amazing. If you are a fan of Rebels, these are must grabs in my opinion. The regular Stormtrooper is $165, and the Commander is $175. I think Vader will probably maybe be pushing $200. If he's over 200, I think that would be a surprise and maybe deter some people. But overall, if you're an avid Hot Toy collector, you've spent over $200 plenty of times on 1/6 figures, and if the quality is there for these, I think people will be all over them. And yeah, it's just so cool to have some animated figures in the collection. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you going to grab these? Are these a pass for you? Let me know down in the comments which animated style figures you would like to see from this line. And yeah, stay tuned. Got a ton of Hot Toys reviews coming. I do have the new Maul on Sith Speeder right next to me. It's right here. I also have the Sand Trooper right behind me. So what you guys don't see in this room is their boxes of Hot Toys. I have the entire Bad Batch. I have Yoda, Dooku, tons of figures to review, so stay tuned. Before this, this is a spur of the moment news video, but before this I was going to film my Sand Trooper review, so stay tuned for that. That will be dropping next. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. As always, shout out to my channel members. Y'all are the top G's, but I appreciate each and every person that watches my videos. Y'all are amazing. I love you. As always, may the Force be with you. Ayy.